Well, thank you for coming to the weekly update. We're going to cover a number of different topics today, and it feels like we're going to have a lot of links. First and foremost, the Clay Shoot is coming up here in June. It's our 13th annual. Registration is open. So we try to send an email out to as many people as possible, but we all know how that goes. Emails get lost, forgotten, caught in spam filters, etc. Go ahead and register here. Additionally, talking about fun things, there's a LinkedIn post I'm going to link to about the Kentucky Derby. We raised money for a charity called All My Friends, which helps people who are differently abled. We dropped a few thousand ducks into the Cedar Creek River here in Cedarburg, rubber ducks, and yes, we did collect them. It was a lot of fun way to raise money for charity, and they let me honk the horn to start the race, which honestly was the best part, in my opinion. If you have future questions, make sure to send them here. But this week's question, we're going to take a little bit of a departure from talking just strictly about the markets and talk a little bit about strategy. Now, what is a Roth conversion? How does it work, and when is it useful? First and foremost, I'm not a tax accountant. I don't play one on TV. I don't pretend to be one. When we do this strategy, when we bring this up, tax accountants, tax professionals are extremely important to bring into the picture because they will help us determine proper amounts and timing of a lot of these things. So what is a Roth conversion? Well, Roth conversions are when we pay money now, pay taxes today, to hopefully not have to pay taxes later. And you might ask yourself, okay, why is it a good idea to pay taxes now? If you think your tax rate might be higher in the future, it's not the worst idea to pay a little bit today. Can we think of some examples where that might be the case? Obviously, tax laws can change, yes. But let's think of something maybe more direct. For a long time, IRAs, this is really the first generation of people with big IRAs. This is a relatively new phenomenon. They didn't pay taxes back when they made it, but they will pay taxes when they withdraw it. When will they withdraw it? Well, you can withdraw it anytime after 59 and a half, but at either 70 or 75, depending on your year of birth, people hit what's called RMD age, or required minimum distribution age, in which they're required to start taking large chunks of it out, and then subsequently a little bit more every single year after that. Well, for many of these people, we're not talking about small IRAs that were a side thing to their pension and other savings. We're talking about their primary savings vehicle. And in many cases, we're talking about millions or multi-million dollar IRAs. So these required minimum distributions are fairly large. And because they're added to your taxable income that year, they can be pretty onerous. So the question is, how do we try to do something about that? Well, if there's either a major loss from a business, or a period in which people have relatively low income. And think about an obvious example. Somebody retires at 64 and they don't hit RMD age until 75, and they're not planning to take Social Security until 70. They actually have a number of years of relatively low income in which it might be a good idea to pay a little bit of taxes now, increase your taxable income, to hopefully not have to have as big of RMDs later. Additionally, from a strategy perspective, another place where people might have higher taxes is the average, Americans living to 86 now or so. If you're 86 and you have a multi-million dollar IRA and you've been taking money out of it diligently and it passes to your children, they're required over the next 10 years to take it out after it's received. Well, if you're 86, it's very likely your kids could be something like 56, right? You had kids when you were 30 years of age. That child at 56 in the prime working years of their life, and usually the highest income earning years of their life, is now going to be taking out a tenth of that amount every year and adding it to their taxable income. And suddenly the primary beneficiary of somebody's IRA doesn't quite feel like the beneficiary as much as the IRS. And that is part of the idea. I mean, the IRS didn't let you pay taxes when you saved it, and so they eventually want to come back for it. With a Roth IRA, those are relatively new. I mean, we didn't even have Roth 401ks for many people for a long time. The Roth, you didn't pay tax, or you did pay taxes initially. You didn't avoid taxes when you first saved it, but now you never have to pay taxes on it again. And so that's that thought process. When somebody inherits it, and this is why I would tell you, if you ever get the chance to inherit a Roth, a taxable account, or an IRA, a traditional IRA, take the traditional IRA last. Right? If all else is equal. The Roth IRA can remain in there for 10 years and continue to grow tax-free. The taxable money gets the step up in basis. The IRA doesn't get any of those extra benefits. So from an estate planning standpoint, it can be very important. Part of this does require you to live a long time. I mean, if you pay more taxes today and aren't around to see the benefits of it later, that can be a problem. So you want to do these things in measured quantities, but this is why we want to bring tax professionals in. We want to set up a strategy for this over time. And it can be a very powerful lifetime tax saving strategy. So with that, I'm going to conclude the book, new book of the month, 1929. Go ahead and check out our review of it right here. Thank you for joining me this week, and we'll see everybody very, very soon.